All right. Well, um, in this video, I just want to talk about how these remote neural monitors or people that do witchcraft or people that look into people's fucking eyeballs and do some sort of conjuring or whatever. I don't know. I think for like a long time, something's and it might be an acquaintance, but in my other videos, I've been sharing how someone keeps saying that they're that they own like part of my body or something, and that they're the new Sammy, and if I want to be understood, I have to close my mouth. And well, I've been fighting and arguing for like 4 or 5 years now. 4 or 5 years, and they don't give a fuck. And I guess I'm kind of like starting to give up, because I would try and challenge this stupid ass fucking noise, because every once in a while, like anything I do, it's as if it's in here talking to something. Like if it's in my body talking to something else that probably looks through my eyes, and my consciousness or something is completely cut off from it. So, and every time I try to prove that I'm Samuel Velez, right when I'm getting ready to look at my tattoo, like I want to look at my tattoo that says Sam on it, and a stupid fucking noise would say, oh, he's gonna look at his hand and say that he's Sam, but don't listen to him. It's not him. And I keep telling this other noise, if it's gonna, like if I open my mouth or close my mouth, anything I do, if I swallow, it's fucking noise. Once in a while, I'll catch it in succession. Like I'll just be sitting here and then I'm getting ready to swallow or something. It's like it'll say, "Oh, give me one good swallow," and then it'll be right when I'm swallowing, so I can't. It's weird. And then like after I swallow, who knows how my posture starts to relax, and then they're like, okay, now open your mouth slowly. That's it slowly. Or anything, like if a fly or something lands on my face or so, if I swat something on me, or right when I'm getting ready to like smack something or do a movement, they'll say, and because I don't fucking hear them all the time, but they'll fuck around and say, like I'll just be doing anything. I'll reach over and grab my radio, and they'll be like, if you can hear us, give us a sign. Oh, if you can hear us, give us a sign by grabbing your radio or scratching your ass. You know, and these are things I'm about to do, like in that instant. And so I just wonder if, I mean, the names of these impressions are from like 20 years ago. And I was saying how like one of the other impressions that I that keeps saying it's me. He's like 50 something years old. He's like 50 something. I'm 47. He's like 50 something. So like when we were in our like early 20s, partying with high school girls, he was like the old man, like the old dude in there doing this thing. So I'm just saying, if this was like a long time ago that something may have happened, that there's this other name in here constantly just, I don't know, something like, all I know is I just keep saying, yeah, well, I'm Samuel Velez with a tattoo of my name on my hand, and I'm 47 years old. And then right at the same time, I crunched my fucking head down and closed my mouth. And while I started breathing hard, and I heard like anything I say that gets blocked out, it gets blocked out so I don't repeat it again. So that next time I repeat that word or a phrase, it's some like evil, dumb, stupid shit that I wouldn't say. So, yeah, right when I was saying I'm 47 years old, my name's Samuel Velez, I crunched down, and as if in a different polarity or spectrum, another voice was rewording what I was saying, but instead of 47 years old, he said he was 50 something. I didn't finish hearing how old he was, but right when he said 50 something, it matched the name of the impression that keeps wanting to be take over my consciousness and literally like cancel me out and torture me, and then mention all these people's names, familiar names of people. They'll just piss me off and then mention these names, and he'll pretend like he's Sammy or something, and he'll be talking to these people, supposedly like talking to the image of them. And so for someone to like constantly erase everything I say, for someone to constantly write anything I'm saying, like what I just said, anything I'm saying, for something to constantly be when he says anything I'm saying, or the next phrase, anything, they just change it to something dumb. So if this guy's been doing this for a long time, and he acts like he's cupcaking with something, and he brings up stuff that I did like 10 years ago, like a long time ago. He brings up stuff like if he was me, and he's like kissing ass to some godly thing, asking it to give me a heart attack. So if there is another impression inside of me, like another person or another like spirit or like another something, if there was something in here, this person is, I mean, literally, like my consciousness, anything I say probably isn't even heard within my own consciousness, like something's blocked. And this dude or whatever, for, like I said, for them to do this, to want to keep doing that, they must have been doing it for a long time. I'd say maybe like 15, 20, maybe longer years. And I don't know, like every time I open my mouth, like they program some bullshit to come out of my mouth that favors them, as if I'm some little fucking verbal goose egg thingy. But the whole thing is they'll be torturing me, and then I'll be thinking, like right now while I'm thinking or talking, this is all being articulated through someone else. And but within my same body, I could hunch down and something will be talking about my thoughts, putting them into words, like it's talking to something. And it's weird because I'll just be thinking, and then something in the distance sounds like it reacted to what I was thinking. But no, I don't let that shit get to my head, because it something else is regurgitating what I'm thinking, and they get the reaction. And in my mind, when I kind of like react, they say some shit like, "We ain't talking to you, Chomo. Why are you answering? They ain't talking to you. Man, don't listen to that, Chomo." And then I'll just be like, "Fuck, whatever." And then I'll be thinking, and then halfway through a thought, "Hey, what were you gonna finish thinking?" Like, selfish as fuck. Like, they're like, "Come on, we need the next thought, so it could come through us, so we could influence, so we could talk to, or influence, or do some type of shit." And they don't care. I think whatever's inside of me, if they've been cupcaking with like a spirit or something, I think they have it tricked. They have it fooled into thinking that the other person, the other guy, Danny, that his name is Sammy Velez, because he keeps saying he's Sammy Velez. And but he claims to be Sammy Velez with his body, I think. Like his yeah, like if him and his body, and his 50-something-year-old body, he claims to be Samuel Velez somehow. And I mean, I don't know how people get away with that or what. And now, like, all the people that he was talking to, or supposedly talking to, out of the blue, I'll hear a noise say, "Hey, what do you want to say to this person? What do you want to say to your daughter?" Like, the person that was probably talking to her, pretending to be me, is telling me, "What do you want to say to your daughter? What do you want to say to your daughter?" Or something. But I think they make that shit come out of my mouth as if I'm Danny. Like, if I'm someone named Danny, it's as if I'm telling myself, "Hey, what do you want to say to your daughter? What do you want to say to your daughter?" Or some shit. Or to anyone, like, before I cuss or say anything. They're like, "Oh yeah? What else? What else? Oh, and what else do you want to tell this person? What else do you want to..." Like if I'm chatting with them or something, and I'm not. And I know they know I'm not chatting with them. And the fact that they don't give a fuck and make fun of me while I'm crying. The fact that while I'm crying, they sit there and they sit there and all they give a fuck about is who I'm thinking about. Ooh, now you're thinking of this. Now you're thinking of that. You know, I don't know. They want me to think of their faces, or think of something, another name. Like, they want me to think of 2 other friends' faces. And then they start talking. Then they start talking to each other, but they're talking through me. And I feel like they're talking to me. They'll even react. They'll even talk shit about stuff I'm doing. But if it's 2 different people, and if it's two different people, then I don't know, they like want me to open and close my mouth like I'm some bitch. Like if I'm included, like if I'm in there trying to defend myself. But really, I've defended myself hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, and all they do is just put someone else right there instead of me. Like they'll put the name and character of someone else without me knowing. I'll be reacting all day, fighting and arguing, or throughout the day, and then at the end of the day, they act like they're coming to a conclusion, like they're wrapping everything up, and they've figured out, like while watching my brain work and trying to analyze shit, they'll figure shit out somehow through that, and then they'll set me free or some shit. But they'll set free someone. Like every time I yell and scream, they'll tell me, "Man, you sound like this. He sounds like Amber." Or, "Oh, when he said stop, leave me alone. You should have heard what really came out of his mouth." A bunch of releasing phrases, like releasing stuff, like giving shit away or something. And yeah, if they have something in my head believing that someone else is me, and that and then make something that supposedly is in me listen to that fucker, and then that fucker describe, "Hey, and that guy, this guy, that guy, Danny, get him away from me. He's the one that did this. He's the one that looked into my eye and did something to me." And he'll tell something, give him a heart attack. He'll literally tell something to give me a heart attack. Like right now, I'm starting to feel weak, and every time I start to feel like this, they program a curse. They program a word right now. Every time I open my mouth, like it's like they're disciplined, like to try to put me in check. Every time I open my mouth is beseeching something, or it's either beseeching something against my will, or it's releasing something to these other impressions or something. And then they use that, whatever they beseech or whatever they do, they use it to attack me. They literally tell them to attack me and give me a heart attack. And that's when my heart starts to hurt. And like right now, anything I'm saying, I won't hear it, but there's probably a bunch of dumb phrases that are probably like serious phrases about some serious shit, and it's just looping out of my mouth every time I open my mouth, and my head starts to ring, and my chest hurts, and I feel dehydrated. Like if my neck and my throat and my chest and my mouth and my cheeks, everything, like if it's just drying up, like if it's like everything's evaporating or something. And like right now, a noise just said, "Do I have any idea that I'm talking to Sonia?" A voice just out of nowhere that I was able to kind of hear really low said, "Did you know you've been talking to Sonia, and you've been saying all of this to Sonia?" And that's the name of my daughter. And supposedly someone named Danny, Rich, or Amber did something to my daughter. And every time I grab my balls or do something in private, well, not every time, but one time they were accusing me of being someone named Danny, but the fucking cold part was while I was doing that, a noise out of nowhere said to think about fucking my daughter while I'm just like grabbing my balls or just, you know, that private, you know, the stuff that men do if they don't have a life. And that's what just threw me overboard, is them telling me to think about it. They were telling me to think about, and ain't that weird that the impressions that were like taunting me and admitting that they did something to my daughter are pretending to be me, and then they're making me them, like treating me like them. That's weird. And supposedly the name of my daughter is hovering around there sometimes. I'll hear her name, and they told me that they told my daughter that I did something to her, and that they made my daughter hex me, and that but if I'm being accused of being someone named Danny or Amber, if I sound like them, like old acquaintances, then you would think that, I mean, I wouldn't think that my daughter would do that to me. I don't think she would. But if in that weird spirit world or the weird world of whatever, if I'm seen as someone else, maybe the impression of her is in the midst taunting or messing or poking at some asshole that might have abused her or something when she was little. I don't know. I don't have any proof. I can't even fathom if that even happened. And so yeah, these noises, they're just so low, they're like in the background, and I'm just tired of reacting. I'm tired of reacting, and these noises keep doing it over and over. And if I don't react, then I'm thinking of the reaction, and that's what they get. They snatch that thought. I mean, anything that reacts to my thoughts in the distance, I just ignore it. But in my mind, I think of what I would have said, and sure enough, some other fuckhead is regurgitating that, like like if he's explaining himself or something. So yeah, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. These noises in the background, they keep wanting to prove that I can hear them. And if they've been doing this, like, I don't know about, hey, do this, give us a sign if you could. I've never done that shit. And these motherfuckers are doing this shit to me, man. I'll be moving around, I'll be doing something, I'll be doing anything, I'll be doing something, and exactly what I'm doing, they'll say, hey, do that, give us a sign and do that if you could hear us. And I can only imagine all the times I'm scratching my ass, poking my nose, and this happening to get some sort of confirmation. I think they've already got their confirmation to make some 50-something-year-old person named Danny pass himself off as Sammy to some fucking whatever. And the fact that they keep talking to something within my head, like they're cupcaking, like, okay, now I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna close my eyes, and then when I close my mouth, like um, whatever. Like, if I'm just having a memory about anything, these fucking noises will be like if I'm thinking of a time at the zoo in my head, just thinking, just a random thought. And these fuckheads, I can hear them. I'll hear them in the distance, but it won't be like a long conversation. It'll be like right there in that moment. Like they'll, like, I guess, raise something up a little bit for me to hear something right there in that instant for me to react to. And then they'll be all quiet again. Because they program shit to come out of my mouth when I open and close my mouth. Like, I'll be quiet and my throat will just, like my tongue or whatever, my mouth will just be like opening and closing. And they'll just be hella quiet. Just like, oh, you hear what he said? Oh, what he said? Or they'll ask a question and I don't even answer. I don't even bother. Sometimes I'll catch some other noise reacting back to it without me knowing it, like, right. So I figure for like hella years they must have groomed something to where it doesn't even recognize me. If there was something deep inside me, I think they groomed it to think this other person was me and that I'm that person. And there's always something salting me up, like something fighting. Well, not the past few years is what I've been assuming. And it's kind of sucky. It's kind of sucky to feel like that. And for them to tell me that I was never lonely and I've always had something there, but I never talked to it. And for these fuckheads to say, oh, he was never lonely. And they're the ones that have been manipulating things. And trying to like frame me, make it look like I'm the one that's been talking to things all my life. And that I'm supposed to be responsible for hella murders and things happening to someone. And I guess they're right. I guess they framed me a long time ago, and something don't seem to give a fuck. And I don't know. I think that noise that tries to pretend to be me, like, it'll ask for things. Like I look up at the stars, and this fuckhead's like a little fucking faggot voice says, oh, can I get a sign? Oh, give me a sign to prove that you're, or whatever. Like, something will come out, like, oh, give me a sign, and it pisses me off, because I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do, oh, give me a sign, and then, see like some shooting stars. I'll see a shooting star or something in succession, and it pisses me off because I'm just enjoying the view. I'm enjoying, like, in awe, like, wow. And some other fucking noise is, oh, give me a sign. And I don't know. It's just fucking sad that these fucking things will sick something on me within my body. And I don't know, it's just kind of twisted. I know I kind of marinate on that, and they say, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? They'll say, oh, like, just talking. They'll tell me, oh, you just killed something, or you just killed your just killed some jinn, or you just killed your family. Oh, you just made yourself a bastard, or just whatever. I'll just be sitting here sometimes crying, and all they want to know is what I'm thinking, or when I'm gonna jack off next, or they'll piss me off so hard that, I mean, that's all they focus on. Like, they're like little kids. Oh, he's not gonna jack off. Oh, he ain't jacking off. Like if that's the only thing someone, I mean, it's crazy. Like if they're in charge of watching me jack off, watching my thoughts, and watching me analyze their bullshit, and whenever I get close to figuring something out, they get real vicious. They get hecka bold, and do a bunch of, like, I don't know, bunch of decrees and it's been decided type of shit. And I don't know, even when I do hear a little bit, that's all they give a fuck about, is hearing the bullshit that they pour in. I mean, if something reads your thoughts, if something knows your thoughts, then if you're talking to someone or something else around you sounds like it blurts something out that's kind of seems significant, or something that'll trip you out that you don't know what it means. Well, shit, that shit's gonna come. It's gonna register into my head, and these fuckers, like, huh? What? What are you saying? Who are you talking to? Or what? Oh, like they're more privy and more concerned over what I'm thinking and what comes into my head than my fucking feelings. They don't give a fuck. And if there is something that gives a fuck about me, and all they do is make me get emotional, and then they use those emotions to start beseeching something, they pretend like it's me. And they'll pretend like it's me using my emotions. Like if something was to come out and they use it and attack me because supposedly I sound like someone named Danny or Amber or some rich, some Dick or Frank. They tell me I sound like all these different people, and I all my logic, all my analyzation, everything that I've expressed for them to leave me alone or for vindication, they got this joke where they pretend like they understand. Oh, where is he? Is this the real thing? Where is the real thing? Like they act like the three blind mice, right? But they sure know when I'm grabbing my dick. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. They no, what else? Fuck, I keep forgetting what I was gonna say. But yeah, it is kind of sad that something inside of me probably doesn't recognize me, or it probably feels me. It probably feels me, but it doesn't, and it hears me, but through a different person or something. I don't know, it's hard to explain.